Hello and welcome. This is a Sports Break NBA segment. I have our lead NBA correspondent, Vlad here with me. And we're about a month into the season, so we figured it'd be a good time to take a look at some of the teams, some of the NBA teams, how they've been doing. So we're going to start with the Lakers. Lakers have been an interesting team so far. No Kobe this year, not very high expectations, but they're a very exciting team, an interesting team, I feel. I keep an eye on them. And what do you make of them so far? They just fell under 500. They're 8-9 now. 2 tough losses, 2 games to the Warriors. But before that, they were 8-7. Just fell out of the top 8. But still looking pretty good for them overall, considering the expectations, don't you think?
Well, I think expectations, exactly. I mean, so low to start the season, first of all. Nobody thought they'd make the playoffs at all. Nobody thought they'd have any... they'd be nowhere near the playoffs, and right now they're fighting for a playoff spot. They're doing well. They're young. They're exciting. The fans of LA are excited about them. People are talking on the radios and the news about the Lakers in a positive way this time, and not like it's been the last 3-4 years. Everything negative, everything like what's going on. This franchise needs to start from scratch. Everybody's talking about it they see some real potential in the team, and there is. And a lot of it has to do with Luke Walton, who has done a great job of putting some structure together, putting a system in place that shows off the talent that there is on this young team, and that's one of the great things.
Speaking of Luke Walton and the system, so it seems to me that they've come up with basically two lineups that they throw out there. Their starters seems like a more bigger half-court team, and the secondary, the bench comes up and is more a run-and-gun team. And I've talked to you before about this, about whether you think this is a good idea, because you think a lot of the bench players are pretty strong and maybe should be starting. What do you make of that?
Well, absolutely. Definitely the starting lineup is a little, I don't know. They've always start off kind of slow. The team's usually trailing when, once the bench has to come in and save the day kind of thing. I mean, you have to find more balance in the lineup, in your starting lineup, if you want to have a chance early on in the game. Sometimes, you always say, teams don't lose games in the first quarter, but sometimes you really can, because sometimes they start up so slow, they're down like 12, 14 points in the first quarter. It's hard to catch up after that against other NBA competition around an 82-game season. They really need to find better balance in the starting lineup. And right now, with Mozgov being too slow, but effective at times, Dang giving them absolutely nothing, and just not enough shooting in the starting lineup, it's kind of disjointed.
Well, so you would take out either Dang or Randall, maybe?
Well, yeah, or maybe even Mozgov. I mean, maybe Mozgov should be coming off the bench, but definitely something needs to be done. Dang especially has not given them much of anything most of the season, because of his age and maybe because of all the playing time that he had in Chicago and Miami probably has wore him down, and he can't really keep up with the type of pace the Lakers are playing at this point of his career. Didn't really understand the signing at the time, how bad it really would be, until I saw how he really does not fit into what the team is trying to do at all.
Well, it seems to me like they want that second unit to be a very fast-paced unit and kind of blitzkrieg the second unit of other teams and take advantage of their secondary players. Yeah. But if you take out Dang and put him in the second unit, that's going to hurt the second unit. And it seems like it's been working because they've been kind of pulling off wins with this strategy. But it's hard to say, huh?
Well, yes, it's hard to really... I mean, when you have a team that, basically just came together, sort of, or at least you're starting to figure out what pieces need to... Maybe this is something Luke Walton will be able to figure out as the season goes on. It's such a long season. You'll be able to figure out where, maybe Ingram needs to start, or maybe Lou Williams needs to start, or things like that, or maybe Larry Nance needs to start even. I mean, there are things that he could figure out as the season progresses, but as it stands, things are going okay. It could be worse, it could be better, so you kind of like what you're seeing, though, for the most part.
Well, now that you've already seen some of the games, and they've already pulled off some big wins against some big names, the Thunder, the Rockets on opening day, the Warriors once, even though they lost twice to them. Has your expectations changed since the beginning of the season? Do you feel like this team has more potential and that you shouldn't be expecting 25-30 wins, maybe 35-40, and maybe even possibly a playoff spot?
Yeah, yes, absolutely. The Lakers have a chance because the bottom of the West, excuse me, is not that great, that they have a chance. They could actually make the 8th, 7th seed in the playoffs this year. It would be out of the question. Now, their defense has to improve. That's true, because they give up 100 and at least 12 points per game, I believe, which is way too many points for a team that's trying to reach the playoffs and have an actual chance at it. But all in all, yes, I think there's a chance that they could win 40 games this year, and they might actually make the playoffs. And that is something no one thought when the season started, the Lakers have any chance of making the playoffs. So all in all, I definitely think they've done a great job of the expectations really, increasing their chances of making the playoffs.
All right, well, they're a game under 500 now. Looks like they got the Hawks next at home. Coming off of 2 tough games against the Warriors, it'll be interesting to see if they can come back and get a win and get back to 500. I like watching the Lakers personally because every game actually really matters to this team. It's so close that if they actually play really well, like you say, a playoff spot is not out of the question. So every single game really does matter if they pull off close wins. And like that last second buzzer beater from Nick Young.
That was a good
They're an exciting team. But it remains to be seen how well they do and how they develop and what they could use to possibly for trade pieces or maybe improve this team in other ways. But it'll be interesting, and I think this team has a bright outlook without Kobe. And for once, they're actually playing basketball. It's interesting. Well, we're going to wrap up our segment on the Lakers today with that thought, and we'll be back with more Sports Break NBA segments as the season comes along. Thanks, Vlad. It was our first segment. Not too bad, I think.
We did a hell of a job.
All right. We'll see you later.